Hello everyone, this is Sulky, and in today's video, we are going to discuss 2.5 banner predictions based on what we know about what's coming to the game. Now, obviously, we know that Yae Miko is going to be the new 5-star that is going to be featured in 2.5, and leakers have announced that she will be the first half of 2.5, so her banner will drop in mid-February. But who is going to rerun with her? Now, there's been a lot of speculation about it, so based on what I've heard from other people, plus my own speculation, plus what leakers have discussed for 2.5, we are going to make some predictions that could potentially help you figure out where you want to spend your primos, because as we all know, Ganyu and Zhongli are coming next week, and that is a highly anticipated banner, Ganyu being one of the best DPSs in the game, plus Zhongli and Archon, who has the best shield in the game. So it's gonna be kind of a tough decision on whether or not you should pull or if you should wait, obviously if you're free to play. So let's get into what we know. So as I said, Yae Miko, only new 5-star coming, and we know this because miHoYo did not drip market any other characters on, I believe, New Year's Eve is when they actually brought it out. So if we were going to get a new character, it would have been promoted alongside that tweet that had Yae's banner art on it. So for reruns, there's a couple of things that I think might be coming, but I'm going to start with the most glaringly obvious one. I think that the Raiden Shogun will be getting her second rerun. And there's a couple of reasons that I think this. One, obviously, Yae and A go together story-wise, but I don't think that that's the most solid proof of why I think that she's going to come. So it was leaked that we are going to get 2 new story quests in 2.5. One of them is going to be for Yae because she is getting her banner. The other one is going to be an Act 2 to the Raiden Shogun story quest. Now, in this act, we are going to be getting a new weekly boss, and Yae is going to need that new weekly boss in order to level up her talents. So having Raiden on the banner seems very, 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 very obvious and likely, but it also leaves the question of when is she going to run? Now, it's really looking to me like she is going to get her rerun alongside Yae's banner. And I say this because it's a little awkward to have Act 2 come out after Yae's banner is released because she relies on those materials to level up her ascension. So having Yae first half and Act 2 of the Shogun story come out in the later half of 2.5 just doesn't make sense to me, and I think it would get a lot of people angry if they were kind of stuck with Yae not having her talents leveled by that point. I think that when a new character drops, obviously we need to have everything, all of the mats we need for them accessible at that time. So I am thinking that she is going to run alongside her. Now, the other reason, and this is a big story spoiler, so if you don't want to know it, please skip forward so you don't hear what I'm about to say. The new weekly boss is going to be the Raiden Shogun. More specifically, it's going to be the puppet. Now, the last time we spoke to A in her story, she was talking about how the puppet has a system in place to actually fight back against her. She knew that erosion was going to be an issue and that it might get away in her pursuit of eternity, and therefore she set up the Shogun to attack any threats, including herself. You can also see in her voice lines that this event that's going to happen has basically been predicted at this point. We can see here on character story 5 that she basically has some kind of dream while she's meditating, where she's confronted with the Shogun, who tells her that she has become her enemy. The Shogun also asks her if she's fallen victim to erosion because she is straying away from the heavenly principles. We end this story with her saying that dawn was coming and that she must take up her sword, meaning the time has come for her to face off against the shogun. So this is basically, I think, what Act 2 is going to be about. Realizing that the time has come. She has said that there's some way for her to manipulate the shogun in order to shut it off. I'm thinking because we're getting a boss battle with Raiden Shogun, the puppet, that maybe she failed in a way to shut it off and we end up getting some kind of fight with her as a result of this. Now, in order to unlock Yae Miko's story, you are going to have to finish Act 2 of Raiden Shogun's story. So that just kind of adds more evidence that Raiden Shogun is going to run alongside Yae. Now, I think that the only way they could potentially get away with running in the second half of 2.5 is if they just release her story earlier to run alongside Yae. That way folks can unlock Yae's story while she's still on the banner and play through it. And then when we get to 2.5, we have A's story quest unlocking. Again, I do think that that's kind of awkward, but I don't know. The reason I'm even saying like what they could do to sort of like mix it up so they don't run together is because the weapon banner is obviously going to be absolutely incredible with Yae's new best in slot weapon running alongside Engulfing Lightning. Now, of course, you know, they could choose to not run Engulfing Lightning with A, but I feel like that's silly. But the reason I'm saying all of this is because I feel like they know that that banner is too good and they won't want to do that, because typically what MiHoYo does is run a not so desirable weapon alongside a very desirable weapon. So that's the only hesitation I kind of have with this one. I don't know. Hopefully they run together, we can pull on an amazing weapon banner and all will be good in the world. But that's basically what I think is coming in terms of A. So I'm really hoping that they are together in the first half of 2.5. Now there's two other characters that I want to discuss, and that is Kokomi and Kazuha. Now I think a lot of speculation about Kazuha came from a tweet that hinted that someone with the letter K was going to get a rerun banner. Kazuha, of course, would make more sense to come before Kokomi, since Kokomi was literally just on the banner in 2.1. I mean, same could be said for A, but of course she is an Archon, and I feel like they usually run the Archons a little bit closer together. Now, with the introduction of multiple rerun banners coming at once, I think that we're not going to see what we're seeing now happen again, where it takes an entire year for a character to rerun. And I'm obviously talking about Xiao, Hu Tao, Ganyu. They all had to wait a very long time for their reruns. I think that these additional rerun banners happening side by side are a way to alleviate all of that time in between banners. So yeah, Kazuha, Yoimiya, Ayaka, I think that they should all probably come before another Kokomi rerun. So I understand why people are thinking that Kazuha is going to come. For me, however, I actually don't think that he's going to come in 2.5. I think they're going to wait for 2.6 and have him run in that banner that Ayato is obviously going to be in. I'm thinking that it's Kokomi for a couple of reasons. Now, in 2.3, we obviously got an amazing artifact set for her, which I think actually caused a lot of people who didn't want to pull for Kokomi regret doing so, because her new artifact set is absolutely fantastic. So I think people are definitely having FOMO about missing out on her banner from 2.1. But besides the artifact set that happened in 2.3, I think there's like a couple of other reasons. One being Enkanomiya. Obviously, this has a lot of ties to Watatsumi. I don't think that we've seen the last of Enkanomiya with this latest update at all. I think that there's more to come from this underground area, and it would make sense for Kokomi to come back. But there is another reason that I think provides the most evidence and why I think she will be getting her rerun, and that is that there is a new 4-star catalyst coming to the game in 2.5. And I mean, just look at it. It looks like it's meant for her. This weapon is called the Oathsworn Eye. It has a base attack of 565, and attack is its ascension with 27.6%. 48% at level 90. Now, since this is free, we are probably going to R5 it, and it has an energy recharge of 48% for 10 seconds after using an elemental skill at R5. So I do think that this weapon is going to work well with Kokomi. It looks like it belongs to her. It's using the husks like she does, though I feel like materials don't really matter that much. But it does look like a great weapon for her. It matches her really well. And that's not to say that it wouldn't go well with Yae either. I think that if you are not going for cons with Yae, if you don't have A on your party, I think that, yeah, the Oathsworn Eye could be a really great weapon for her to help her out with that energy recharge. But like I said, it doesn't look like it was meant for Yae. It's got the shell on it. It's, I don't know, very water themed, if you will. So I do think that this is going to be a weapon for Kokomi. Now, all of that said, I do think that she will be the later half of 2.5. Do I think that there's going to be another rerun alongside her? I really don't. Again, like, I don't know. There really aren't many signs pointing to Kazuha being relevant, and MiHoYo did say that there needs to be some relevance if we are going to get a double rerun banner, and unless he just happens to be in A or Yae's story, I really can't see that happening. And again, then that would mean he'd probably be in the first half of 2.5, and there's no way they're going to be running three banners at that time. So it just doesn't make sense to me. So my predictions are Yae and A first half, Kokomi second half. And I'm really excited for this update. I cannot wait to see Act 2 of the Raiden Shoken story. I think that this is going to be epic. There's a story tease that came out, one little piece of dialogue that just makes me feel like this is going to be really well written and finally do A justice, because I know a lot of folks had some issues with the first part of her story, making it seem like it was more so of a date and less about something as interesting as, you know, we had in like Zhongli's story, right? But the quote says, "It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you, something to soothe Inazuma's pain. Here, take it before my last shred of consciousness fades away." So I am thinking that we're gonna get some kind of like epic flashback of potentially Makoto talking to A in her last moments of life. I don't know, but I am so excited to get a second half again for an Archon quest. And I think like with Yae, I mean, I'm just so excited that we're finally getting her in the game. I'm excited to see if her story is sort of like a resolution to what happens in Act 2, since Act 2 is a prerequisite for it. So there's a lot that can go on. Fingers crossed. It's super lore heavy and exciting. But anyway, let me know down in the comments below, who do you think is gonna be on 2.5's banners? And who are you most excited for when it comes to pulling characters? I would love to hear it. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more gaming content, and I will see you in the next video.